Okay, hi everyone. Welcome again to our monthly mingle. This time for September. And I think this is the third month that we've been doing the mingle session. We have quite a big group today, so really fun, to meet everybody. So today we are going to discuss about the car investor that we are looking for, because I think quite a few of us have the experience of fundraising, and we realized that being able to fundraise and getting the capital is good, but it's not enough. So it's really great to hear from everybody what they think is important. Xing and Shai, I invite you first to share.
Sure. So investors, can definitely help by through hiring, on recommending candidates, and also market access as we expand to new markets.
Which market are you looking at?
Indonesia. We just launched.
Yeah, congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, how about Zabrina? I'm like asking all the girls first.
Women first. I think our group, we're talking a lot about, so the few of us are either pre-seed or going into seed. We're talking about the kinds of fundraising that we are like open to or typically do. We talked about friends and family. I think that was an interesting one that people don't usually look into so much. But it was also very, very insightful to realize that actually it really depends on the type of friends and families you have. I think one of the biggest and most important points was like whether or not they themselves know the risk they're getting into when they support you, because really at the end of the day, friends and family will be the #1 supporters, and they should be, right? Because they know you. But for some of the people in the group, they had friends and family who were previously founders, so they kind of understood like what the risks are. Whereas for some of us, maybe our connections may not be so familiar with the field. So then the question was really, do you want to take their money when you may not be able to give it back? So then we talked a little bit about like angels. We're talking about syndicates as well, and how that is changing. Like we have more angels, there are also more startups, so it is quite an interesting like growing ecosystem that everything is really getting pretty exciting.
Thanks. I think that was a refreshing angle, talking about friends and family. Karn, would you like to answer the question?
Sure. I think my focus would be potentially finding a founder who is impact focused, an investor is impact focused, and someone who's looking to invest in products that are deep tech. So deep tech and impact focused investors. Right now, for example, I'm taking the month of September to work on tech that is for future of work for the differently abled. So I'm doing it through a hackathon, and I'm going to be working on a couple of other experiments for the next couple of months. But I'm very clear that whatever I'm going to be working on next will be in deep tech and impact. So to connect people in that space.
So I think what you're saying, so that investor in with domain knowledge is important to you, right? Yeah, and also align kind of outcome, because if you are doing something relating to social impact. Okay, so talking about social impact, I think Edmund may be relevant for you to add in a conversation. Like what kind of investor are you looking for? Edmund?
Not convenient, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. I will skip you. Arjun, do you want to share? I know you recently raised already.
Yeah, I think for me, one would be that the investor and the partner should be easy to get along with, because it's such a long relationship. You want to be able to get value from the person. The second consideration for me would be that there is some element of domain expertise, because especially I'm doing a SaaS startup, it takes some time to build the product. So if the person is familiar with SaaS, it's easier to understand that it will take some time. And the third thing is just genuinely helpful people, that they can open doors for you, connect you with angels or portfolio companies and so on. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Iman? Do you want to share?
I think you should raise funding only when it helps to grow, and when the investors actually can help you like achieve that, and not the kind of investors that just like want to, you know, like negotiate you down and try to like bring down your valuation just like I don't know, 20%, just like because you're talking about like building a long-term company that like aim to become very successful, to bring like 100 times more or 1,000 times more in some cases. So like just again, like the investors that you align with in terms of like your strategy in terms of growth, like and like that understand that investments are coming to help you like exceed and not to just survive, because just to get funded to survive, and you'll always get the best do the worst deals. And investors that actually want to come into like those type of companies that don't want to like bring down your valuation, take like more like more stakeholding in your company, that they're not the right kind of investors. The investors that just like are here to help you grow in any way, that's like the investors you should look out for.
So I think to sum up is kind of to look for value-adding investor rather than investor who are mainly after financial returns. Yeah. Thanks. How to pronounce it? Yogi, or yeah. Do you want to share? Or Adrian?
Yeah, I think I'm actually I would say the same thing what Arjun said. Like the investors would be like who are have some deep expertise or understanding of what we are doing, and especially in early days, who could help you with maybe through connections or maybe some early customers through their other portfolio companies who are maybe like if you are in a B2B. And yeah, I think more or less that I would say like early stage, like anything that can help you have like a growth, helpful to create a growth would be a big plus. That's something I would look at in investors. Thank
you. Adrian, do you want to share anything?
Mine will be quite new. Mine will be quite new. So I think mine will be still waiting for Enterprise Singapore. If the 50K can come in, then I will try to raise from friends. I think I have some rich connection friends. But just to make sure that if anything goes wrong, at least the grant is there.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying as well is, I mean, besides raising for equity or convertible note, there are other forms of support, right, out there. So do take advantage of like grants, especially from Enterprise Singapore and other entities. So I mean, before we end, I just have a curious question. So many of you mentioned about how domain knowledge is important. What if there's an investor who has invested in a similar company as yours and wants to invest into your company? Would you take his money?
I would.
I know, like for Temasek, for example, it's quite classic that, there's certain winners that they will invest, which are in the same industry. I mean, that is at a later stage, so maybe it is fine. I'm not sure how to explain that, but yeah, I want to hear what would you think?
Yeah, I kind of face this situation because in my industry, there are a lot of tools and there's no dominant one. I think I was open if the company they invested in is at a very different stage. So if I'm a seed company and the other company is 100 million revenue, I think it's cool. But there was an investor who had just invested in a seed company, which is almost the same, and also wanted to invest in me. That's when it was a little bit of conflict of interest because we are so similar and also at the same stage. Yeah, so that was just my thought.
Interesting. Yeah, makes sense. Anyone else? I think like the reaction is mostly the same, right? Like, why? Okay, so thanks a lot. I really enjoy meeting everyone and just hearing everybody sharing their thoughts. And some of you were so helpful, to share about the kind of the journey that you went through. Yeah, so kind of so mentioned that we should all keep in touch. So he has placed his LinkedIn, so LinkedIn profile on the chat. So all of you feel free to do that if you haven't already connected with each other. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.